What's going on, everyone? ODC here, and I'm back to another action figure review. Today's review, we're going to take a look at the Mythic Legions. This is the Legion Builder Wave. This is the Gladiator. Now, the Gladiator, which I actually thought when this originally was revealed, that he was going to be a part of the Noble Bear clan, but to my surprise, he's actually a part of the clan of Leodicius. Regardless of all of that knowledge, there's not too much backstory here. That's the most backstory I can possibly give you right now, as far as that goes. There are some really cool, unique parts about this figure that actually does stand out from the rest, even though he is a Legion builder. Now, if you're not familiar with Legion builders, they are the army builders of Mythic Legions. That's kind of the name. They just call them Legion builders. They're pretty self-explanatory as far as that goes, but really cool figure, very simplistic in design. He is a gladiator. He comes with a brand new sculpted helmet, brand new pauldron, brand new, I guess you want to call that like a cross draw kind of leather harness. We'll call it that. That's what we'll go with. So there are some new pieces. Usually with most Legion builders, they don't get new pieces. So, and usually most Legion builders get the lack of paint apps, which he unfortunately does suffer from. But most Legion builders are a perfect opportunity, and I'm just going to kind of bring him in a little bit closer, are a perfect opportunity for people to customize. This might be the character that I customize with to make my own character. I always kind of thought of myself as some sort of like gladiator, fighter, stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. This might be the character that I go with as far as the base goes for how I would want to look. Really love this helmet. It really does look very menacing, very powerful. And I do appreciate that quite a bit. Like I said, all new sculpt for the helmet, all new sculpt for the pauldron, which is really awesome. Very beautifully dedicated to that uniqueness of this character. So like I said, you don't have to necessarily army build this guy. You could make him your own character. The weaponry that he does come with, he does come with a shield, a short sword, which is used for mostly the it's kind of the elvian looking or elvish looking short sword, which is, I'll show you in a second. The shield is kind of like a, I guess like a graphite or like a metallic looking, more of like a graphite gray, I would say. And then for the spear, which is the other weapon that he does come with, I actually painted the blade a metallic gray. This actually does not come painted. It comes painted the same thing as this kind of graphite gray, which is the same as the shield. So it's all like one color. But like I said, I've already kind of decided that this guy is going to be customized. So I've already started with just simple things like painting the spear tip. But the figure itself, like I said, very simplistic in design. He is asymmetrical, so he does have no armor for the most part. He is kind of more bare on this side, and then he's way armored up on the other side. Very similar to that of other characters in Mythic Legions, like Atlas the Conqueror and such. As far as other new parts that are on him, newer-ish parts, I would say the bare hand is newer-ish, and the bare feet are. The rest of him, other than the things I did point out that were new, pretty much Wave 1.0 body. Nothing really that crazy as far as that goes. Even the armor for his lower torso is from Wave 1. So stuff that we've seen plenty of before, but they threw in little things to kind of switch it up and make him look a little bit more unique. I think the crowning jewel is the helmet and the pauldron. That really does set him apart from the rest of the pack. And very nice sculpt work as far as this goes on the back. Almost looks like a little turbine right here. It's obviously not, but you know, that's what it kind of looks like to me. That's just my opinion. As far as the helmet, we'll get to that in a second. The pauldron goes, I love the skull on here. Looks very, you know, edgelordy-ish, but but still cool nonetheless. I definitely plan on giving this some nice paint accents, maybe a black wash to it. Maybe black out the eyes and the nostril, and just kind of really kind of bring out that centerpiece, which would be for the pauldron, that skull. Lots of little details going throughout the rest of the pauldron right here on the sides. Like I said, there's a ton of sculpt be brought out just with a light wash. And that doesn't have to be too crazy. I don't want to make it look like he rolled in crap by putting too much of a wash on there. Just enough, I think, is just right. The helmet is really cool. Let me bring in him a little bit closer, and you can see there's actually some battle damage, which we don't get too often with Mythic Legions, is that battle damage. Usually we get pretty newish armor on each character. Not to say it's happened with all the characters, but some characters it's few and far between that we do get battle damage, but it's nice to see with at least a gladiator character that we do. There are some dents right here on the side of the helmet, a big slash mark right there, slash mark. He's got the Anakin Skywalker slash mark over the eye. And then he's got another dent right there on the side of the helmet. You can definitely tell he's been through some battles. The helmet can come off. There's no head underneath, so if you wanted to put a head of your own on there, or a custom head, whatever you want to do, you could do that with him and maybe have him hold his helmet or whatever you want to do. But that's what the head looks like on. Actually, let me take that head back off. The new shoulder strap that we do get is just a brown plastic. Another thing that could use a nice little black wash and kind of bring out the rest of that sculpting going throughout. You can see some buckles and some rivets, and anyway, there's another one of those little rivets right there on the back. You can remove the pauldron if you want to. Just simply de-pegs out of the back. We're pretty much used to this pegging system as far as that goes. This is what he looks like, pretty much kind of bare bones. The strap is removable, so you would just kind of have to fish it. I would definitely stick this over here and kind of hike it up, and then kind of just work it off the head peg. But it is removable nonetheless. I'm not going to take it off myself. I like where it is. You can obviously dissect the figure if you wanted to break him down. You can remove the arms from the torso. You can remove the torso from the lower torso. The legs from the lower torso as well. The knees, the ankles, the feet, everything. I mean, you can really dissect him down to a T. Let's just go ahead and put this pauldron back on. Everything pegs in very nicely, very neatly, and he can hold everything. We do have the peg system from Wave 2 that was kind of revamped. I like it a lot better than the Wave 1 handle system for the shields. And then we have him with his spear. I like to outfit him with the spear. I think it just makes sense for the character, and it's a very nicely sculpted spear. This is one of my favorite kind of reused weapons that we get for Mythic Legions. I might try and source him out maybe. I always like to take each character and give them kind of like some sort of unique weapon. I don't know. Maybe I'll find him one. Maybe I'll go with like something like an axe or something like him. I just went ahead and painted this or custom painted this axe for him. Maybe we could do that. There's this big old sword that I just painted as well. So maybe we could go with that, or we can go with something a little bit more barbaric. This almost looks like something an orc would use, though. But you know, there's definitely options that you can choose from. These were all 3D printed stuff, just kind of little things that you could add to your collection. But as far as his articulation does go, let me get everything out of his hands. His head can swivel full 360 rotation, especially if you have the pauldron off. You'll have better range of motion there. That's just obviously common sense, but the head can go up about that far. It can go down about that far. We do get a little bit of a jiggle side to side. as far as that goes. And then let's see if he's got jive turkeys. Not really. No turkeys. No gobbles available. The arms go up about that far without the pauldron on. With the pauldron on, they go pretty much where they're supposed to. It's going to push the pauldron up, though, so you might have to just, relocate that. Arms go down. We have a single bend at the elbow, a swivel at the elbow. We have a swivel at the wrist. And we do have vertical hinge joints on this side for the newer hand. For the old hand, we're going to have that lateral hinge joint from Wave 1 that we're used to. We have a crunch forward and back. We have a pivot kind of side to side. He's on a ball peg joint for the torso. He's also on a ball peg joint for the head as well. He can swivel. He can do the splits. He can Van Damme it very nicely. Legs go forward. Legs go back. Upper thigh swivel. Single jointed knee. We do have a swivel at the knee as well. A pointy toe. Pointy heel. And we do have ankle pivot. And we also have ankle swivel. So you have a plethora of good range of motion here, plethora of articulation as far as articulated points and such like that to work with. And I think he's a really fun character just kind of just sit around and just play with, It's usually with most Mythic Legions, I try to be super duper careful with them because they're expensive and they're harder to come by. And this figure he's kind of hard to put down. And he's, like I said, very simple. Okay, first up, as far as size comparisons do go, we've got the NECA T800 on the right from Dark Fate. And then on the left, we've got the NECA Phantom. So that's how they compare with NECA figures. All right, next up, we've got two Marvel Legends. On the right, we've got Cannonball. And then on the left, we've got Shocker. And next up, we've got two G.I. Joe Classifieds. We've got one of the Crimson Twins on the right, and then on the left, we've got the obligatory Duke. All right, next up, we've got another NECA figure in the Enforcer Predator on the right, and then on the left, we've got a Mezco Nosferatu. All right, next up, we've got two more figures. We've got a Articulated Icons Ninja on the right, and then on the left, we've got our Kamen Rider Black RX. Okay, next up, we've got two Mortal Kombat McFarlane figures. We've got Malefic Spawn on the right and then regular Spawn on the left. Okay, and last up, come on. You just gotta pair this guy with the Noble Bear Clan. Come on. Anyway, on the right, we've got my version of Atlas the Conqueror. Subtle changes here and there with him. And then on the left, we've got Sir Gideon Heavensbrand. Okay, and really quick, I just wanted to go through some of the packaging. Don't mind my crappy kind of pan forward. But I really like this artwork on all of the new packaging. And I love that we get some uniqueness with each wave getting new artwork. That is very welcomed. That I appreciate. And that's another reason why this is actually one of the few lines that I've kept all the packaging. Because it is resealable. And because, especially when I moved down to the Carolinas, I gotta say, this packaging did help kind of keep everything copacetic as far as protecting all my figures. And the fact that it is resealable, it's really nice. We do have a little bit of a read-up here. It's kind of similar to all the other read-ups that we've seen with Wave 1 and so on. But it does give a nice little depiction. I kind of wanted to show that. I usually don't care that much about packaging, but Mythic Legions always have some very nice artwork as far as that goes. And last up, we'll go through accessories here. I kind of did things a little bit out of order today, but we can't be perfect all the time, right? So really quick, like I said, he does come with the spear, which I did talk about earlier, so we'll set that aside. The shield also, which I talked about, and he also does come with this kind of very elvish looking short sword, but I get why they did it. Because it, most gladiators did use kind of like this short kind of like slice and, stabby sword. I don't know. I'm not a sword aficionado. I've said that in the past. But I think it does fit the aesthetic of the gladiator. Hopefully we get some new weapons. It would be nice to have for the next wave or something. Maybe if they do a new wave, we'll get some newly sculpted weapons, and then we can just add and add and add to more variety. He does come with extra feet, so if you don't like the bare feet, you don't have to have him in the bare feet. He does come with these extra feet, and these do come in very handy because if you are a customizer and you do want to add some more variety to other characters, you also have the option for using these for other characters or this one. Or if you just always want to have the option to switch him from barefoot to, armored feet, you can do that. Personally, I think I'm just going to keep him unique with the bare feet. I really like the bare feet, to be honest with you. Unless he's going on like some big mission or something like that, or big journey or whatever, adventure, then we'll go with these regular feet. But I don't know. I think it's nice to really have that option. And as far as accessories go, he comes with technically we'll call that 4 accessories. And that's pretty good, especially for getting some newly sculpted parts for him. I think this is definitely, with my final thought coming into play now, definitely a 2 thumbs up. I would definitely recommend getting him, and I think he's definitely worth it as far as even the $44. Now, I had pre-ordered this guy from obviously when the pre-orders went up through Mythic Legions, and I did receive this guy about a month ago. Sorry, it's taken me a little bit of time to kind of get to some of these, but with some of the other waves coming in, and me kind of finally being able to get to some of those reviews, it has been a nice welcomed addition to my collection. It is a lot of fun kind of doing these reviews with Mythic Legions. I always have had a lot of fun doing reviews with them. I guess that's why I always end up doing them. But with that being said, that's pretty much it for me. Like I said, I gave this definitely there's another 2 thumbs for you. And let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you like the Gladiator? Do you not like the Gladiator? But yeah, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. Okay, and really quick, I just wanted to do this. I did this with the Dwarf Deluxe Legion Builder also, so I figured I'd do this with the Gladiator Deluxe Legion Builder. I went ahead and did a little bit of just painting dots, adding details where I saw fit. Little bit of differentiation, obviously, from the original. I didn't add too much to it. I thought simplicity was the key here. I added a little bit more detail to a couple different places, like his helmet. I added some black detail where the little gashes and dents were. I added some bronze coloring just to some of the bottom of his boots here, and I'll just pick him up. Just to the bottom of the leg armor and the side armor, as well as the other side of his armor, and also to the gauntlets and the shoulder armor. And then obviously the biggest piece to him is his big, beautiful, brand newly sculpted shoulder armor. I went with kind of like a darker, almost like a maroon red for the details around. Then I kind of just painted the rivets black on there. And let me just bring him in. I'll readjust my lighting so you guys can see everything here. You can see all of the little black rivets, and then I went with a gold for the skull and painted the eyes and the nose black. Just went with flat colors here, flat enamel colors, in case anybody's wondering here. You can use anything from Model Color to Testers to Model Master. Personally, I like Model Masters. I'm not really particular about paints. Anything that works, works. Tamiya color works really good. I have a bunch of those too. So just kind of going with that. I painted some of the rivets on the shield, just a copper color to match the other copper here. I know it's not a fashion show or anything like that, but I just wanted to make him look a little bit more special than just being as kind of base as you could be. I painted all the rivets on his armor as well, black, on his leg armor as well, just painting the dots, especially on his little crotch covering piece right there, that part of armor as well. All of the I painted this red and just the rest of the dots red on the rest of his harness piece. So just simple things, I think, really does make this figure a complete figure now. I even went ahead and painted his short sword. I went with almost like a metallic gray or silver for the short sword, and then I painted some red blood dry brushing on there as well for the spear, excuse me, and the short sword. So gave him a little bit more of a bloody look to him, a little bit more of a visceral look, and I think he turned out really well. And I'll just give you a full 360 rotation on him. Yeah, I'm really liking this guy that much more now that I just added the little bit of details throughout, and it almost feels like he's now a regular released figure at that $37 price point, which is the natural price point now from the Four Horsemen. And yeah, man, I still want to put him with my Noble Bear clan though. I still think I'm going to do that, and I've been pretty tried and true to how the factions work and sticking people where they're actually supposed to go. But this guy feels like he really belongs with Noble Bear. We've gotten 2 other gladiators, like I've said in the past, with the Noble Bear clan, and I just feel like gladiators just fit in perfectly there. So that's where he's gonna go. And we've actually been getting kind of a lack of Noble Bear clan, and I want to say Aethuron, the Order of Aethuron, and Leodicius. I feel like we need more Leodicius, and even though this is technically a Leodicius release, I think I'm just gonna have to put him with Noble Bear. But I don't know, I just want to do this quick little just kind of end with a little bit of a taste of customization. It's not really true customizing. There's no custom head that I painted or anything like that, or no other custom parts that, you know, I made or anything like that. But just a little bit of painting just helps a very base figure go much further, I feel like, with final productivity. So that's pretty much it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for sticking through to the end. And I try to sneak in these little bonuses, these little customization bonuses at the end. So I hope you guys enjoy these, and stay tuned for the next review, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.